Well, in fact, we did carry out a poll in February, just February this year, very recently. And one of the things we asked our civil service, our clerical civil service membership, was whether they thought that the fact that there are so many supply workers within government departments, if that was the issue that was of most concern within the civil service. And we have had an overwhelming response in the affirmative. 88% of our members polled within the civil service said that the issue of supply workers taking up permanent posts within the civil service was the most important issue within the civil service today. And in fact, that's actually borne out by a study that we carried out from feedback from our members late in 2017. And that showed that as a sample of the financial departments, which are income tax, treasury and the DSS, there's between 20 and 22% of the overall complement of these departments are supply workers. And we feel that that is unacceptable and unsustainable.
Did you take any comfort from the Chief Minister's words at Workers' Day that he is going to try and keep them to a minimum at the GHA and do away with relying on supply workers altogether across the civil service?
Well, absolutely. I mean, that is certainly what we are seeking. What we are seeking is the reintroduction of the AA recruitment process that was taken on in April 2015 and which was suspended. And the suspension of that process has led to the overwhelming prevalence of supply workers within the civil service. And what we want, obviously, is for these vacancies to come out in the normal way and for permanent administrative assistant vacancies to be filled by permanent workers on the same terms and conditions as every other civil servant.
So do you believe that this level of supply workers is detrimental for morale and also for the level of service provided?
Well, firstly, the first issue is that it creates an element of tension within the workplace, because you have people on very good terms and conditions and people on markedly inferior terms and conditions. Obviously, within the supply worker complement within any department, these individuals are very understandably seeking permanent employment. So there tends to be quite a high turnover, which means that for management and for the line managers, it means that you are constantly retraining staff and that there's a high turnover rate, which is actually something that you don't get that often within the civil service. And that actually creates more work and less efficiencies.
And for the quality of the service delivered by the civil service generally?
Well, absolutely. I mean, what you're getting is low morale, because these people are on really awful terms and conditions, and they find it very hard to actually move on with their personal lives, because someone who's on a supply worker finds it hard to get a mortgage, finds it hard to in fact even start a family, because they don't have proper maternity and paternity leave entitlements. So obviously what you're getting is people who you know, I give the service commensurate with what I get from my employer, and when what I am getting is temporary, low quality terms and conditions, obviously the service suffers.